Are you ready to vomit? Look at this face. Look at this face. This was among the No King crowds. This individual did this.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass? Hey!
Bang, bang. Yeah, so of course what she's doing is that I believe the people in the car that filmed were clearly either MAGA or in general conservatives, whatever. And so what she decided to do, what she thought it was the appropriate response to that, was to mimic the sign representing Charlie Kirk being shot in the neck, and she thought that was owning them. She's owning those intolerant right-wingers by celebrating and mocking and in fact threatening, but I think this could very well be considered a threat at this point. But I don't know, you'll have to see if you agree with me or not on that. In fact, let me know in the comments, and if any of you knows the law, you let me know if it's possibly, even from a legal perspective, being interpreted as a threat. But even if you don't interpret it as a threat, it is absolutely a mockery of, and a celebration, in fact, of the death of Charlie Kirk. Ugly inside and outside. So, the woman, with an A please, is mocking Charlie Kirk's death. Here she is. The lady from the video is Lucy Martinez. She's a teacher in a Chicago school. Now, we have recently noticed this. It's always a teacher. This is happening so much. This is why at this point, I'm just going to start saying it, guys. Either make sure you know who the teacher of your kid is, or freaking homeschool. Because so many of these absolute, disgusting, evil scumbags are teachers, and they are teaching your kids this. They are absolutely doing it. That's despicable, to say the least. Now, I said to that, fire her. She's a teacher, contact the school, fire her. And luckily, I think that did happen. So, the school, Derek Evans says, the school immediately deleted their ex account. I mean, imagine the flooding. They are trying to sweep this under the rug. We don't know that. She needs to be fired. I absolutely agree. Share this everywhere. I did. I absolutely did my part. And she's an elementary school, which makes it even worse because elementary is indeed the most susceptible age group when it comes to political indoctrination. Now, I don't know if she is indoctrinating this kind of stuff, but what I do know is that if my kid was in any way, shape, or form involved with having to dealing with this kind of scum, I would 100% take him out of that classroom because you have no idea. You shouldn't want any of your children nearby the likes of this and her ilk, because these are people that have absolutely no decency, no shame. And so it wouldn't surprise me, I can't prove it, but it wouldn't surprise me if then it comes out that, oh yeah, she was actually teaching the children that the death of Charlie Kirk was absolutely based, which is what she thinks. So yes, I do think she should be fired. And for all of those who say, oh, but I thought you were for freedom of speech. Yeah, I am for freedom of speech. That's why I'm saying I don't think she should be arrested unless a lawyer says this could be considered some sort of direct threats to the people that were driving. In that situation, I don't know. We'll have to get a lawyer involved. But since I don't understand the law, then I would say removing the possibility of an arrest. No, I don't want her to be arrested just because she's being a scumbag. But I do want consequences to people do despicable things when it comes to their employers, in the sense that I think there people, specifically in the sphere of a public education, then yeah, you need to look into this. Because we don't want our children, I mean, parents absolutely have a right to say, I don't want my kid in the classroom with someone like this. That's absolutely, it has nothing to do with freedom of speech. Again, if this was not protected speech, she would be in prison. I'm not asking her to be imprisoned, but I'm asking for the parents to know. Because once you see this, because people like me show this with dedicated videos, and maybe you're a parent and you're like, wait, that's my elementary school. Is that my kid's teacher? And then if you figure out, yes, it is, then I think it's absolutely your right to go and demand the school that your kid is either they fire her, or if they don't want to fire her, then that at least your child will be moved to a different class, or that this teacher will be moved to a different class. That's absolutely, although then again, she shouldn't be a teacher whatsoever at all. I think that that's one thing, because teachers, it is a sacred cause calling, I say, as someone who has taught in all sorts of different schools for over a decade. It is a calling before being a job, and people that teach, particularly the young generations, are the people that are able to shape the minds of our future leaders. It's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. That's in the teaching sphere. But in general, in any professional capacity, because what they did is public. This is not a private message that was leaked. This is public. She's shameless. She has no shame. So once public, it's fair game, as I always say. So then people like me boost the signal of what she's already doing publicly. And so if her employer, whatever employer that may be, at this point it could be a freaking GameStop for all I care. If GameStop or maybe a privately owned family restaurant sees this and she's one of their employees and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know she was such scum. I don't want that in my workspace. I don't want to be employing this person and helping her pay her freaking mortgage. That absolutely has nothing to do with freedom of speech and First Amendment rights. No, it has to do at that point with the right of that employer. And so if they decide I want to fire her, that's absolutely their right. And I'm glad that I could help in that situation. Not because I'm trying to cancel her or not because I'm trying to silence her, but simply because I'm looking out for those parents. I'm looking out for those employers, for those business owners that perhaps they don't know that they were housing such a disgusting individual. Then we can move on to the next area of discussion and subject that has to do with this, namely her family and friends. Because honestly, there should be consequences, not legal consequences that involve the government, but absolutely there should be consequences when it comes to something like this. If she was a relative of mine, if she was a family friend of mine, or even like someone that, I don't know, we were hanging out playing Warhammer, not the type, but just to give you my perspective, and I see this, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with you ever again. Because at this point, I know, oh, now I know you were just poison. So out of my life. And I hope that every single person, people from her workspace, people from her life, people from her friends, I hope they all sever any connection to her because she's a disgusting human being. And that is still being pro-freedom of speech. Owned. Day 5, and this spiritual mutant has still not been fired from Nathan Hale Elementary in Chicago. It's time for the Department of Education to step in. Day 5, Lucy Martinez is still employed at Nathan Hale Elementary after mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. 5 days later, and Lucy Martinez still works for Nathan Hale Elementary. So as you can see, there are plenty of people that are literally pushing for the firing of these radical activists. And I would like to add myself and my voice to this call for the elementary school. At the end of the day, yes, it will be the call of the elementary school. We can't enforce it, but we can absolutely push for public outrage because it should be outrageous from the perspective of every decent human being, including, of course, whoever runs the elementary school, to make sure that the likes of this and their ilk is not in any way, shape, or form involved with the raising and educating our children. Thank you very much. Share this video. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.